Good morning, everyone. Today is day 2 of my daily practice of how Northern Pass is going to affect my home. I have a word about anonymity before we start. I've always blogged and tweeted anonymously, and by doing these videos I'm really going out on a limb and making myself very uncomfortable, which I think is kind of what social action is all about. But if you know who I am, if you figure out who I am, please respect my wishes and don't out me. Allow me to live in my little bubble of anonymity. I do appreciate the fact that a lot of people want to know who I am. I'm kind of flattered, actually. But the reality is I, for my own comfort, need to stay anonymous. So please respect my wishes. So today we're going to be looking at my yard some more. We did just a small portion of my yard. Now we're going to do more. I'm standing on my back porch and I'm looking to the north of my house. You'll notice I still have my laundry up. The reason why is because it is dry. So are the woods and the trees and the lakes and everything else around here. And I've always found in the past that the best way to get it to rain is to either water the garden or hang the laundry. And since I don't have anything planted right now, watering the garden is kind of pointless, so I thought I'd just leave my laundry hanging up as a way to induce the rain to fall from the sky. I've said before and I'll say it again, we are very, very, very dry here in central New Hampshire. So we're walking out to the north part of my yard, and we're looking at my chicken coop. You'll see that I have a fence around it, which needs to be fixed, like big time. As you see, a lot of it's on the ground. So we don't have any chickens this year because we have a lot of work to do on our fence. This is also where I have my compost pile. You see it right there. Wolf made this a bunch of years ago. These are reclaimed wood. We never really put any in these two, but as you can see, I have lots of compost here. And there's some bug life. It's still a little bit cold. Mostly the squirrels eat out of it. And when we have chickens, the chickens live for the compost. It's like their favorite thing on the planet. So, we hope to get it going a little bit better this year. Lots of trees in here. There's some good tree cover for the chickens. They like to sleep up in here a lot. They dig around. Wolf made the chicken coop a couple years ago. You can find that on the blog. And he used all recycled wood, stuff that he found. The only thing he bought, I believe, were the cement foot things there. The reason that we enclose our chickens in a fence is because, as I've stated before, it's really well wooded around here. Now we're looking east. And so we have a lot of predators. And the first year that we had chickens, we lost half of our flock to a fox because we just free-ranged them around the yard. And I don't blame the fox for doing it, for eating chickens. Everybody has the right to eat. Every animal, every being has the right to eat. So the year afterwards, we've kept chickens for about 4 or 5 years now. The year after we put the fence up, and we give them plenty of room to move around, and we'd also let them loose in the yard as long as I was out here. So we're looking to the east now. It's another gray, overcast day. Still no rain. I don't know that we're going to get any. When I was out doing the walk around the yard yesterday, I noticed a lot of branches down this year, a lot more than usual, and I think that's because everything is so dry that the branches are... Oh, I just heard my neighbor's rooster. Anyways, these are lilacs that I got a bunch of years ago from a woman who lives over the mountain, and she no longer lives there. She's a single mom. Her daughter's got cancer, and she's fighting all kinds of government agencies who don't want to pay for her daughter's treatments. Her daughter's, I think, maybe 10 now. But with the lilacs came some tiger lilies. So the lilacs are really pretty small. They measure up to about my hip. That's my hip. They've never bloomed into flowers, but every year they do leaf out, and it looks like this year they're doing a pretty good job of leafing out. And I've got a bunch of them here and here and here, and all kinds of lilies on the ground. Now I know you're all judging me on the fact that I have not raked my yard up, so yesterday I was watching the video and realized that you were all judging me on the fact that I hadn't raked my yard, so of course I started raking it like immediately. And I haven't finished. In our zeal to get rid of some of our possessions in anticipation of moving, although now we're no longer going to move, we got rid of our wheelbarrow, which means getting the leaves out of the yards and into the woods has not been very easy. So I have to find another wheelbarrow. Anyways, I have lots of blackberries, like I said, and we noticed yesterday how much they're expanding in the yard. Sorry about that. These are some blackberries right here. Like I said, I'm in the east part of my yard, so this gets wonderful western sun, which is what the blackberries really, really like. There's more there. And there. And they're really spreading out into the yard in areas that I didn't expect to see them in. Like here. You know, usually they're, well, I can't really show you where they are, but because they haven't done leaf out yet, but they're just starting to. So I think we're going to have to pull back some of these blackberries so that they don't overtake the yard. So, you know, we're continuing along the east side of my yard here in central New Hampshire. All this is going to be affected by northern pass. I don't know how well the blackberries will do. I mean, they'll get more sun if the trees come down. The trees that'll come down are to the west of me. I'll slowly pan over there for you. Well, that's what we were looking at yesterday. Those are the trees that are going to come down. So the blackberries may do better, I'm not sure. This is a really tall pine tree, and it's got all these broken acorns at the bottom, which tells me that there's a nest of squirrels that lives way up there. You can't see the nest, but the food, or the waste, the squirrel's little compost pile, I suppose you could say, right here. Now we're facing south. This is the south part of the yard. My yard doesn't actually get a lot of sun in the summertime. I get much more sun in the winter and in the spring when the leaves are down than I do in the summer and the fall. And we had talked about pushing back our tree line a couple of feet so that we could increase the sun so that we would have better a better vegetable garden. However, we never really had the money to do that. So I'm now walking across my driveway, and we're looking down my driveway. We call it the luge in the wintertime. It can get kind of dicey with the ice and the snow. But there's a skill to getting down it in the winter, and mostly it involves taking a deep breath and staying calm and controlling the car as best you can. We'll talk more about the driveway another day. And now we're facing west. And we're closer now to the area that's going to be cut down by PSNH, Hydro-Quebec, and Northeast Utilities so that they can put in the 140-foot towers to bring a non-renewable, very ungreen energy to Massachusetts and Connecticut, and using New Hampshire as a speed bump to get there. This is right along my property line. Oh, see, now I've gone for almost 10 minutes, so I'm going to let you go now, and we'll get back to this tomorrow. There is my shed. And that is the north part of my yard again. Okay, we'll get back to this tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.